On just a spectacular day here in Boston. The weather has certainly turned, and it is time to figure out what the ACC is going to look at. It's Boston College and Virginia, and what a day in this conference with Syracuse and North Carolina finishing up right now. BC and Virginia play today, and that will sort out what the ACC picture is going to look like with just a week and a half to go in the regular season. This is what it would look like going into play today. So that's why we talk about Boston College has the opportunity with a win to guarantee themselves no lower than 3. Virginia can move up as well with a victory here today. Let's talk about this Cavaliers team. It's an offense for Virginia, 13th in the nation. Part of the reason why is they have the second and third leading scorers in the ACC, including Ashlyn McGovern, second in the conference, 4th nationally with her 52 goals. The only person in the ACC she's trailing is Jenn Medjid, who has been on a tear of late. First in the ACC in scoring. Medjid in 3 games in April has scored 18 times and is just 1 point away from becoming the 3rd player in Boston College history with 300 in her career. Part of the Spring Fest here at Boston College today. The spring football game taking place in this building, just wrapping up about an hour ago, and lacrosse will follow it up here. And of course, baseball, softball going on right now as well. Let's take a look at Virginia. They have made a change in goal over the last few games, and Abby Jansen has gotten the starts here of late. She will start her 3rd ACC game in a row for Virginia. You see her numbers on the year, and there is another youngster, the freshman, Dolce, who has taken over the starting job for Boston College over the last month. Keisha Walker-Weinstein was talking with us this week about Dolce and how good she's been since she knew she was the best goalie in the country coming out, so that piece is no surprise. But the way she has mixed in has been really impressive, and it's added a little bit of a lift for this Boston College team. There is Julie Myers, the head coach of Virginia, been at it for a long time, and feels like her program is in a good spot right now as they try to move up in the ACC and snap a long losing streak to Boston College. The Eagles have won 7 in a row in this series. Keisha Walker-Weinstein feels like her team is trending the right direction once again. That's been a theme for Boston College over the last number of years when the Eagles have qualified and gotten to the national championship game, 5 completed seasons in a row. It says right around this time of year is when we're trending in the right direction, and Boston College trying to do that once again. 2 games to go here. This one, and then Boston College will be on the road at Syracuse on Thursday night, the #1 team in the country, which is in action against North Carolina right now. At last check, Syracuse with a 2-goal lead early in the 4th quarter against the Heels. So an opportunity first for Virginia. Devin Whitaker with a lot of pressure here. Boston College has been good on the ride. Really, both teams been effective on the ride of late. Jamie Biscup, the senior, who is 18th of the ACC in goals. Cavaliers team, as we talked about, 13th overall in scoring. They're 13th in shots on goal per game, national ranking. Kiki Shaw got rid of it on this opening possession for UVA in the dark blue uniforms today here on the Alumni Stadium turf. Morgan Schwab. And here is McGovern, first opportunity. Working against Hunter Roman for Boston College. McGovern lost the handle on it. Excellent 1v1 defense there by Hunter Roman. Keisha Walker-Weinstein this week, when we talked about Hunter, said she just loved the game that Hunter played against Notre Dame last weekend. Boston College coming away with the win, and how she's continued to improve at becoming a high-caliber 1v1 defender. Eagles stay with possession here and will slow things down with Belle Smith. Eagles come in fourth in the ACC in assists, fourth in the country in assists per game, 18th nationally in scoring offense. They score in bunches when they're going well. That was Belle Smith off a feed from Jenn Medjid, and Smith with a good hustle play to back it up and keep possession with Boston College. Here is Weeks. Got it right in front. Martello scores. Kayla Martello, the Eagles' second leading goal scorer this year, scores her 37th of the season. And Boston College is on the board first. Cassidy Weeks draws the double team and gets the pass away to Martello, the 5th assist of the season. Martello, who's continued to be a goal-scoring threat, comes into this game 11th in the ACC in goals, 20th in points. Draw control is going to be really interesting in this game, and Virginia has gotten both of them so far. For UVA, Aubrey Williams, who is the Cavaliers' all-time draw control leader, got the record just a couple of games ago, and she's a real force. Boston College, Ryan Smith is going to take most of the draws, but it's really much more about the three-person unit trying to win draw control, so that'll be an interesting chess match between those two teams at the draw. Rachel Clark, who is the third leading ACC goal scorer, so you have Medjid, McGovern, and Clark, 1, 2, 3 in the conference in goals here today. A lot of open room, then the double team comes, and the pass goes away to Shaw. Virginia continues to work, 35 to shoot. Right in front, they score. Mackenzie Hoeg off an excellent feed, and Virginia quickly ties the game. Hoeg with her 28th goal of the season and 31st point. And the assist from Jamie Biska with her 8th assist of the season. So captain to captain there for Virginia on the exchange. Cavaliers have won 2 games in a row. Victory over Duke 16-12 last weekend. Following up a win on the road at VCU. Another fight for the ground ball off the draw, and it's Sydney Scales who picks it up for Boston College. That never went out right along the sideline. If you're new to watching lacrosse games here at Alumni Stadium, remember it's the blue lines, the dark blue lines on the turf that you're looking at for the out-of-bounds lines, not the white lines of the football field. The blue lines extend out over the football sideline a little bit. That's right on the back of the end zone. Martello couldn't quite handle the pass from Weeks, and it's picked up by Virginia and Annika Meyer, the grad student defender. So UVA will have an opportunity on the clear. Cavaliers clear at 91% as a team on the course of the season. Big key for Virginia today when we chatted with Julie Myers was about limiting the transition game of Boston College. That's really where they thrive, and so far Virginia has done a good job of that. Cavaliers have had more of the time on offense so far. Morgan Schwab, pass to the middle, lefty shot was affected from behind by Boston College and ended up high. That was Lizzie O'Neill who made the play defensively for BC. Another chance for McGovern, with Annabelle Hasselbeck guarding her. Just 10 to shoot for Virginia as that shot wasn't on goal. Here is Rachel Clark trying to get around Roman. Roman did a nice job, pass to the middle, quick try, and they score. With just 2 on the possession timer. Mackenzie Hoeg with their second goal of the game. Kate Miller gets the assist on the goal, and again, right at the end of the timer. Good job by Hoeg managing to break free and just get positioning in front of Shea Dolce. And it gives Virginia the 2-1 lead. The 29 goals on the season, which ties her with Biscup for the 3rd most on this Cavaliers team. That time the whistle goes against Virginia, so Boston College will get possession off the draw. And it's McKenna Davis. What a year that Davis has had. 3rd nationally in assists with 44, which is the 2nd most in a single season in Boston College program history. Eagles down a goal here early. Weeks for Jenn Medjid. First opportunity for the Eagles' leading scorer. Little fake flip, then Davis spinning a shot and missed the net wide. Back up by Courtney Weeks for Boston College. Reynolds thought about it on the dodge. Gives it up to Davis. Jenn Medjid stops, pulls back to her right, has Weeks with 31 to shoot for BC. Martello scored the Eagles' opening goal. Another pass to the middle. That bounces around a few times. Ground ball is off of Ryan Smith, who did a good job hustling for it, but couldn't quite corral it before it goes out of bounds. And Virginia, for his 2nd possession in a row, holds up defensively. It's the one spot for Virginia. The scoring defense numbers overall on the season do not jump out. They're ranked 73rd nationally in scoring D. But if you look at some of the totals lately outside of the game against Syracuse, they've been better ever since the switch in goal to Abby Jansen. And so far, they've held up well in the early going here against BC. Nick Garfinkel helps get it in, and now Virginia can set up. Used a lot of the timer here, down to 40 seconds to go off the change of possession. Nikki Shaw shoots, and a save by Dolce, though the rebound from Ashlyn McGovern goes. McGovern with their team-leading 53rd goal of the season. Stayed with it off the rebound. And Virginia with an early 2-goal lead. So good job there by Ashlyn McGovern to stay with the end of that play. And it's part of the reason she's had such a successful year for Virginia. You see 2nd in the ACC in goals so far this year, with 52 of them coming into today's game. Now add 1 more. And has always been pretty good against Boston College. Has scored 4 times in each of the last 2 meetings between these 2 teams. And McGovern's going to be a big part. Billy Myers says one of the things that's really worked well offensively is you have McGovern, who's really a 6th year. Some injuries in the COVID year, obviously. And then you look at Rachel Clark, who's just a sophomore. And that combination of second year versus a sixth year is really kind of an interesting one in terms of the offensive attack for Virginia. And it's worked well, part of the reason they are second and third in the conference in goals. So another violation off the face-off, that one on McGovern. So the draw control to Boston College. And the Eagles, who are trailing by a goal, on possession once again. Medjid got the pass off the handoff after a bounce. Davis spins the shot. Back up there was Ryan Smith. So we've seen McKenna Davis willing to shoot a little bit more early on in this game. Here is Belle Smith, her shot up high, and a good save by Jansen. Smith gets it right back, though, off the rebound. .44 to shoot for Boston College. 2 chances on this possession. That one is ripped. McKenna Davis with her 16th goal at Boston College is within 1. And how about Davis? We've talked about it. Willing to shoot so far in this game. That's already Davis's 3rd shot of the game to lead BC. And a perfect position to get Boston College on the board for the 2nd time. Davis, who's been known for her facilitating this year. But along with Hoeg on the other side for Virginia, leads the game with 3 shots. Another draw control here. Talked about Aubrey Williams going against Ryan Smith. And most of these draw controls have been awarded on a violation somewhere. And once again, it's an early move by Smith, and Virginia gets possession. So it's not been all that clean on the draw control either way in the early going here. Kind of interesting wrinkle to this first quarter here from Alumni Stadium. Maureen Duffy in there offensively for Virginia. First time we've seen her. Morgan Schwab trying to get around Melanie Welsh. Has a little bit of a lane, but Welsh did a good job to get back in position and protect that right side of Dolce. Here is Kate Miller trying to dodge in. Miller's shot on a bounce, missed the net wide. Dolce might have gotten a piece. Back up successful by UVA. Duffy working against Hasselbeck. Duffy a low shot and kick save by Dolce. And here comes Cassidy Weeks, changing field quickly, but then a whistle and a foul on McGovern from behind the play. But the Eagles trying to go in transition. Here's the save by Dolce. Well done, got her feet in good position to make the stop. Now the Eagles and played a tie. Smith gave it right back to Weeks. Martello dodging. That cutting pass, Virginia's done a really nice job taking away early on in this game, and now the Cavs trying to go quickly. And that was Sydney Scales coming together with Maggie Bostaine, the junior, trying to make the catch there. Nothing more than a regular foul. Felt like the game was starting to pick up speed a little bit, which you would think would play into the hands of Boston College. Well, Virginia's done a good job, and again, we've talked about it on the defensive end. couple of times the Eagles have tried to get it to a cutter through the middle, have not been able to get that pass through, which is what they like to do on the offensive end. Dolce comes all the way up to the football 35-yard line. A pass floating over the head of Weeks, but Davis read it well and is in position. Medjid from X. Jenn Medjid tried to flip that to center, got knocked away again, and another ground ball picked up by Virginia. And now it's Virginia going in transition. Pass comes to Clark, who missed the net wide. Back up to Morgan Schwab. So a lot happening here. Both teams going quickly. This is a lot of what we've seen. That time it was Medjid going for the pass, and it's just really tight defense from Nina Garfinkel, the grad student, who affects the play there. Centering pass on the Virginia end. Came all the way through, and it was picked up by Kiki Shaw. On the ground, picked up by Shaw. Sydney Scales the closest to her. 33 to shoot here. Tough angled shot, hit the post and stays out. McGovern was over on the near side. Closest to it to keep possession here with UVA. Kate Miller lost the handle on it momentarily. Gets it back to Shaw. Shaw coming through and scores. #15th goal of the season for Kiki Shaw. And Virginia has its 2-goal lead back at 4-2. Just all of a sudden, the middle kind of opens there. Really good spin dodge from Shaw. And with 1:09 to go here in the first quarter, it is Virginia who has the 4-2 lead. Boston College was defending there for a long time. Remember, after the initial try hit the post and came out to the near side, and Virginia wears down the Eagles defense, takes advantage on the play by Shaw. First true draw control in a while, and then again, there was a foul at the end of it. So the Cavaliers, who have had the lion's share of the offense so far in this first quarter, with the possession timer off and 39 seconds remaining in this opening frame, and play for a final shot if they'd like. They've had leads of 3-1 and 4-2 at various times. Shaw passed to the middle. McGovern got knocked down right in the middle. Boston College called on a cross-check. See it right there on Welsh. A free position opportunity. First one of the game either way goes to Ashlyn McGovern for Virginia. Rips it. McGovern gives Virginia a 5-2 lead with her second goal of the game. McGovern, who was a third-team midseason All-American selection by Inside Lacrosse, and decides to just rip it right up around the head area, which is really hard to defend. Reynolds off of a win. Eagles going quickly with just 14 seconds to go in this first quarter. Hasselbeck pass to the middle. Turning shot, they score! Cassidy Weeks. Boston College understanding how much time they had, and in fact, they did it with 8 seconds to spare. And maybe that's a little bit of a momentum boost to make it 5-3. Watch Annabelle Hasselbeck, still patient enough to pull back, but then gets that pass through the middle. And Cassidy Weeks, who combined with her sister on the game-winning goal against Notre Dame last Saturday. Weeks is on the board once again here with her 20th goal of the season. Annabelle Hasselbeck with her 4th assist. So Virginia's 3-goal lead for the first time quickly wiped away. Off of the biggest draw control win of the game for Boston College. Down the Eagles' end. Just a couple of seconds left here. Weeks has to get it off to Medjid. Does it count? The answer seems to be yes. And how's that for her 300th career point? Jenn Medjid apparently beats the buzzer. Let's take a look. Watch the clock right on your program feed. Medjid got it off. And how close is that? It skips through, and it is a 5-4 game as the Eagles scored twice in the final 7 seconds of the first quarter. And we have a 1-goal game after 1 here in Chestnut Hill. Short order, Jenn Medjid just barely beats the horn at the end of the first quarter, and I mean just beats the clock. It sneaks through with just about 0.1 on the timer, and that makes, remember what was Virginia up 5-2 just a few moments ago. Boston College with goals with 7 seconds left and no time left to make it a 5-4 game. And with that goal, Jenn Medjid becomes the 3rd Eagle with 300 points in her Boston College career, trailing only Covey Stanwyck and, of course, Sam Apuzzo, who is now the Eagles' offensive coordinator. What a year it has been for Medjid, stepping into that #1 role after she kind of, as we've talked about, spans the eras of Boston College lacrosse a little bit. Playing as a freshman with that Apuzzo Kent Arsenal team, and then playing the last couple of years with Charlotte North as kind of a 1A option. And the goal scoring numbers, they don't jump out quite in the same way as they have for some other players, but it's so much in the recent games. Coming in over her last 9 games, 37 goals, including 18 of them in the month of April over the last 3 games so far. And then add another one here, and once again a great setup on both of those goals in the waning moments of the first quarter. Cassidy Weeks with an assist on the last one, and then she scored a goal off the setup from Annabelle Hasselbeck with just 7 seconds to go. Pretty impressive stuff for Boston College. So it's a 5-4 game, and very different than we thought it might be at the end of the first quarter when Virginia scored a free position goal with just 19 seconds remaining in the first. Andrea Reynolds coming back center. Here is Davis. Anna Davis working away from Annika Meyer defensively. Jenn Medjid gets it back. Medjid has to kick back to the 8, and it works around, and a whistle here goes against Virginia. So Virginia scored on their first free position of the game, and now Boston College with the opportunity. And they score over the top shot from Reynolds. 3 goals in a row for BC. And a tie game at 5. Reynolds goes way over the top there and converts for the goal. So Boston College, in short order, 3 goals in a minute and 8 seconds of game time, overlapping the quarters, ties the game 5-5. By the way, it's just gone final. Talk about a seismic shift in the ACC women's lacrosse hierarchy. Syracuse snaps North Carolina's 41-game home winning streak. 14-12 win for the #1 and undefeated Orange, who have guaranteed themselves, potentially I should say, in the driver's seat for the ACC tournament. So what that means in terms of the game that we're watching here is that is really a significant ACC result. We've talked about the success of the defending national champions, North Carolina, and what they've done in this conference. Though Syracuse, the #1 team, has seemingly been one of the top teams in the country all year, and they kind of proved that in a major way, going down to Carolina and picking up a huge win. Here is Reynolds. Reynolds to work, and a good save by Jansen. First save in a bit there for Jansen. And really reads this well. Holds her spot with the shot up high and makes the save. Just to finish on the Syracuse-North Carolina point. So that is now North Carolina's 2nd loss in the ACC. Which means if Boston College were to win today, the Eagles would move to 7-1 in conference play, which would mean that next week's game against Syracuse would be for the #1 seed in the ACC tournament and the regular season title, because if BC were to win that game at Syracuse, obviously they would own the tiebreak. Now, remember, Carolina has the tiebreak over BC, as that shot is high. So if the Eagles were to then to lose that game at Syracuse or lose this game here, potentially Carolina would be ahead of them. On the Virginia side, still just 2 losses as well. So if Virginia were to win this game, then it would be 3 teams with 2 conference losses, Carolina, BC, and Virginia, and it would clinch the regular season title for Syracuse. Now, that's what's on the line with the 3 and 4 teams in the ACC coming in after Syracuse getting the win over North Carolina. McGovern falling to the ground. And a bouncing ball. A reset of the timer here for Virginia as it kicked out to Kate Miller. Centering pass. Belle Smith was there, but committed the foul in dislodging possession from Mackenzie Hoeg. So another free position try here for Virginia, 1 for 1 so far. And it's Hoeg, who scored twice early, has a hat trick. And Virginia takes the lead back at 6-5. So Mackenzie Hoeg now with 30 goals so far this year. And does a good job to beat the defense and get that shot away. So Virginia stabilizes a little bit after Boston College had scored the last 3 goals of this game. There is the scoreboard around the ACC. That Syracuse, North Carolina game has gone final. Some of the other seeding at the bottom of the ACC being sorted out as well. Notre Dame playing a non-conference game today. With her performance today for Hoeg, that's now a career high in goals with 30. After she scored 28 of them a season ago, part of an all-South region second team All-American selection. So it's 6-5 Virginia. Here is Davis on the setup, and a big save, Jansen. Denying Cassidy Weeks her second goal of the game. Eagles off the rebound. Martello scored early. Davis going to work again. Davis cuts right through. And that got knocked down before it got in on Jansen. And then a foul against Belle Smith will send Virginia out in transition. But taken right back here by Boston College. And that was Holly Schleicher who was on the field for the first time today for BC. Schleicher, one of the really key pieces of the Eagles who had not played since the North Carolina game back in early March, before appearing briefly against BU on Tuesday in the Eagles' 19-8 win on the road at Nickerson Field. And what a lift that would be to get Schleicher back for Boston College for the stretch run. Here is Medjid. Martello comes around, bounce shot goes. You could almost feel her when she got the read that she could beat her defender to the spot. And Martello just takes off and comes around on the shot. Kayla Martello continues her outstanding season with her 38th goal of the season. Just put that left foot in the ground and takes off to get around Mackenzie Hoeg. 2 goals today for Martello, and we are tied again, 6-6. And a great turnout here at Alumni Stadium. The fans who really have filled in, it's underneath where you watch the games from, underneath our cameras here at Alumni Stadium, but they are packed in. One of the things that Aisha Walker-Weinstein and her program started playing games here at Alumni Stadium a couple of years ago when BC hosted the ACC tournament. And what more could you want out of a day? Come out, check out some spring football, check out some lacrosse after the fact. Boston College will get possession off the draw control. Here is Belle Smith. Little dodge to her left. Good job staying with her defensively there by Devin Whitaker. Courtney Weeks works it back to Davis. Pass went over Smith. Looked like there was a little bit of miscommunication there. It was over Smith, but short of Reynolds. And Medjid was the one hustling to try to get it before it went over the sideline. And maybe even a little lucky there that those two did not collide. Great job by Hunter Roman to break up that pass on the defensive end for Boston College. And it sends the Eagles out running in a 6-6 game with 7:40 to go in this first half. Eagles content to slow things down a little bit. Martello off to her left and rips it. When it hits the logo underneath the bar, you can't place it much better than this. Started with the turnover from Hunter Roman, and then Kayla Martello with the hat trick early on in this game. And Kayla Martello with back-to-back goals in big spots for Boston College to give her the hat trick. It's what Martello and McKenna Davis, who have kind of been the two that have really had to step into bigger roles than they had previously in their career on the Boston College side. You see the jumps year over year, goals per game for Martello, points per game for Davis. And Kayla Martello with those 2 goals. Looks like she's got a cheering section here. Now 39 goals this year, which puts her second on the team, obviously, to Jenn Medjid. And on a day where Virginia has done a pretty good job taking away Medjid, at least early on, we're still very early on, Martello has stepped up in a big way for Boston College with her 3. So 7-6 lead for BC, who has won all 4 draw controls in this second quarter and is up 9-4 at the draw control in the game. Great job by Ryan Smith against one of the best to do it in the conference in Williams. Smith still hustling after it. Smith going against Garfinkel. And possession will go to Virginia. The full 110 yards away from cage. Aubrey Williams, who came in second in the conference in draw controls per game, trailing only Maddie Jenner of Duke, who was another really trying to win them on her own draw control specialist for Duke that Boston College had success against earlier in the season. They've done a good job with Williams so far. So Virginia back to work on the offensive end. That shot is stopped by Dolce. Jamie Biscup. Boston College now has scored 5 of the last 6 goals in this game, and a good stop by Dolce, but it's turned right back over. And Virginia once again in on the offensive end. That is the 6th Boston College turnover of the game. With 5:33 to go here in this first half, 7-6 the Eagles lead over the Cavaliers. And a whistle and a timeout. Maybe just an inadvertent air horn. So no timeout called. Virginia will restart their possession here. Giving back a couple of seconds on the possession timer. Here's McGovern coming in and missed the net. Virginia was there on the backup. Schwab kicks it out for Rachel Clark. Clark trying to come to the middle, off the post and in. And a tie game once again. Rachel Clark with her 49th goal of the season. And not much Dolce is going to be able to do with this one. Clark with a nice step and then a little screen run there by Mackenzie Hoeg. Almost like a pick play there. Watch Seven come across, take the defender with her, which allows Clark a clean lane to shoot right downhill. And Rachel Clark, who was an Inside Lacrosse mid-season All-American honorable mention selection a couple of weeks ago. Look at those numbers for Rachel Clark, just a sophomore. And the combination of Clark and McGovern as the two leading scorers for Virginia is lethal, and Clark's got a long career ahead of her for the Cavaliers. Talked about it, a lot of fouls off the draw control in this game. Really both ways. There's Holly Schleicher's back in on the defensive end. It will come off. So not on the circle yet, but getting some more action as she works her way back into full health. Tie game here in the Eagles on the offensive end. Medjid, good setup for Hasselbeck. Pass in front, it is Weeks. Cassidy Weeks with the team leading 4 points on her second goal. And BC leads again 8-7. It looked like it was going to be a play for Annabelle Hasselbeck here, but watch as the two defenders draw in. And then Cassidy Weeks off of a great feed from Hasselbeck. That's the second assist for Annabelle Hasselbeck. And Cassidy Weeks converts. So 2 goals, 2 assists, following up a week where she was the National Offensive Player of the Week, including the game-winning goal late against Notre Dame. Boston College, in a game where Notre Dame at one point scored a stretch of 7 of 8 goals near the end of the third quarter and start of the fourth, but then Boston College, who ended up scoring 5 straight to win 12-11 in South Bend last weekend. Medjid trying to dodge away. Back and forth again she goes. And then eventually draws the whistle against Nina Garfinkel. Reposition chance here for Medjid. Slips in, then tried to go with a soft underhand look, but the rebound followed up, and the Eagles are on the board again. Kayla Martello with her 4th goal of the game. What a job by Virginia, first of all, kind of locking in against Medjid off this free position. Look how many Cavaliers are in the way, but it skips free. And an excellent job by McKenna Davis for her first assist of the game to set up Martello after the miss here. And Martello just kind of slips free as the defense kind of lose track of its spot. And Boston College has a 2-goal lead for the first time. Four goals today and in big spots for Kayla Martello. And it is 9-7 now. Boston College up at a high-scoring first half here from Alumni Stadium. This final regular season home game of the year for BC. Eagles come away with it again. And boy, that was a good job by Ryan Smith, who did not have clean possession of it, so just kind of whacked it back to her defense to reset. Keep possession for BC, and then a foul. And in fact, a card is going to come out here against Virginia and Rachel Clark. So the first player up situation of the game will go to Boston College with a 2-goal lead, and it feels like the momentum is on the side of the Eagles. BC has scored 7 of the last 9 goals since Virginia took a 5-2 lead with 19 seconds to go in the first. .240 to go in this first half. 9-7 Boston College. Annabelle Hasselbeck, who's gotten a lot of run with the first line midfielders so far. Weeks draws the whistle, going against Devin Whitaker for Virginia. So Cassidy Weeks, 2 goals, 2 assists so far. And an opportunity for more in a 9-7 game. Weeks just missed the net on the low side left. And then McKenna Davis was trying to start quickly for Boston College, but the ball had ricocheted back into the field of play, so they wait a minute, now ready to go. Pass quickly to the middle. Courtney Weeks scores. Goal number 10 this year for Courtney Weeks. And Boston College takes a 3-goal lead. So with 2:02 to go in this second, Virginia forced to call a timeout as the Eagles on a roll. There's the setup for the goal for Weeks. And give Cassidy Weeks the assist. So the sisters once again team up on this senior day. And Cassidy Weeks now with 5 points in the game, 2 goals and 3 assists. And it is 10-7, and not sure if that's how they drew it up, but celebration works nonetheless. And it is 10-7. So as we, talk about this run and a game of momentum, Julie Myers told us we cannot let Boston College score more than 2 in a row. She said if the Eagles go on a run, we've seen it time and time again, they are so difficult to stop. And that's what we've seen so far here. As you look at Boston College, it's sort of a couple of mini runs, but if you look at it overall, it is 8 of the last 10 goals in this game belong to Boston College. to turn what was a 5-2 deficit into a 10-7 lead, led by Kayla Martello and her 4 goals today. But this is where we talk about, you know, the importance of closing out quarters, and closing out the first few minutes, the last few minutes, and the momentum that it could possibly have. And if you're Virginia, you have to think, with a 5-2 lead, with 19 seconds to go in the first quarter, that, I mean, you can't ask for a better spot and think you have all the momentum. And the Eagles finding a way to score not 1, but 2 at the end of the first quarter. 2 goals in 7 seconds to end the quarter, including Medjid at the buzzer. So even though Boston College had not taken the lead yet at that point, it certainly felt like they had stolen the momentum. And the momentum and the possession in a game like this is so crucial. And that's the moment, depending on what happens the rest of the way, we'll look back on. But at least in terms of the defining feature of the first half, those 7 seconds really stand out in a big way. And what stands out in a big way is Boston College's performance at the draw control. They have won 7 of 8 in this second quarter and lead 12-5 for the game. That was an early move against BC, so Virginia gets, but again, it really has not been that much clean on the draw control. We've seen fouls, we've seen a couple of false starts. So it goes without saying, the same thing that we talked about at the end of the first quarter, this is a big sequence for Virginia. Under 2 minutes to go, trailing 10-7 here. And Virginia trying to respond. Kiki shot, works back around to X and Morgan Schwab. Melanie Welch the closest to her. Kate Miller. Mackenzie Hoeg leading the Cavaliers with 3 goals. McGovern backing away from Hunter Roman. Centering pass, quick stick goal. Mackenzie Hoeg with her 4th of the game. What an outstanding pass that was to make it a 2-goal game once again, as Hoeg set up by Ashlyn McGovern. I mean, that is just a perfect read and a seam pass right through the middle of the Boston College defense, and finding Hoeg running downhill on the backside. And the celebration game has been interesting on each sideline. So it's 10-8. Now the Boston College lead. So if you're Virginia here, that's 2 draw controls in a row. With under a minute to go here, possession timer off at the end of this first half. Cavaliers content to wait it out. Here is Rachel Clark. Clark trying to get downhill, shoots and scores. Boy, it looked like Clark had almost stopped her momentum, but then took an extra step, picked up speed, and scores the goal. And Virginia with 2 goals in a row out of the Julie Myers timeout to make it a 1-goal game again. And for Rachel Clark, her 2nd of the game, and that is goal number 50 on the year. You'll see she gets to a spot where it almost seemed like she was too far gone to shoot, but elects to fire it anyway and scores. So Virginia was down 3 just moments ago with 2 goals inside the last minute, and it is 10-9. Nearly a clean win, but it's picked up by Boston College. Eagles with 5 seconds to go in this first half. There's the bounce shot, and they score! Lizzie O'Neill, the junior, with just seconds to go in the first half, has her 2nd goal of the season. O'Neill, who's gotten more and more playing time of late, when there's that few seconds remaining, everybody's got to stay out there off the draw, so you just got to go. And O'Neill, who's not normally in this spot, spins away and really takes a good angle on that vertical bounce shot and converts. And I mean, you talk about goals at the ends of halves, and I mean literally at the very end of the quarter and the half. Jenn Medjid with 000 on the clock, and Lizzie O'Neill with 1.1. And it is 11-9, the Boston College lead after the first half here from Alumni Stadium. So Virginia with 2 goals in a row to get within 1, but the Eagles with just seconds remaining. Lizzie O'Neill leads. These Eagles have experienced the hard work, triumphs, and challenges that are part of the journey to becoming some of the best lacrosse players in the country. We sat down with some of the Eagles' upperclassmen to talk about their reflections and what advice they'd give to younger players.
The advice that I would definitely give to youth players is to start early, and stick work is a huge foundation of being a good lacrosse player. So I think really hone in on your stick work, and then all of the other aspects of dodging, like ground balls, all of that stuff will come later. Another piece of advice that I would give youth lacrosse players is to always hustle more than, hustle stats obviously aren't really in the stat book, but I think hustle stats speak volumes as like who you are as a player, and they'll, get you to a good college if, you're not just a big goal scorer.
My advice to youth players would be to just have fun and play as many sports as possible. Especially in lacrosse, we pull from a lot of other sports, so it's good to be able to have a lot of versatility in your game.
I'd probably say, don't compare yourself to others, and because people develop at such different stages. There'll always be someone who develops and is good really young, but sometimes they don't last till, all the way through high school. So even if you think you're behind, your development's probably still coming. So just keep working hard and grinding.
My biggest piece of advice, I've thought about this a lot. And I think that the best piece of advice I've ever gotten that's really kind of changed my perspective on things as I've grown up in the sport, just playing sports in general, is just always put the team above yourself. Whatever you have to do to put the team above yourself, that's always the right answer. Team accomplishment is always greater than individual accomplishment. That was the line, actually, to a T.
Just love it. If the passion's there, that's really all that matters. Just have fun, enjoy it.
To any youth players, I'd probably just say anytime you have free time, just pick up a stick, get some reps in, whether it's wall ball or shooting. It's always great to have your stick in your hand.
Definitely pretty basic, but follow your heart. If it's not for you, then it's not for you. I think deep down what makes you happy, and if it is sports, that's amazing. And if it's not, then there's definitely so many other things in the world that you can find to make you happy.
Excellent stuff to hear from some of the Eagles upperclassmen on this season. It is an 11-9 Boston College lead over Virginia at the end of the first half of play here from Alumni Stadium. Kind of different runs and twists and turns over the course of that first half. It started with Virginia early. Mackenzie Hoeg who's responsible for 4 Cavaliers goals on 5 shots. She scored twice in the early going, gave Virginia an early lead, but then remember, at a 5-2 game, Boston College coming back late in the first, totally changing the momentum of the game. First it was Weeks, and then here Medjid just beats the timer, and that made it a 5-4 game. And then in the second, it was really about the Kayla Martello show for BC. 3 of her 4 goals in the second quarter for Boston College. 4 for the game, which is 1 shy of tying her career high in a single game. And then the Eagles again added another one late, and that's why the score is 11-9 in favor of Boston College. There are the statistics out of the first half. Shots pretty even overall. The Eagles with a few more on goal. And the draw controls really specifically, it was interesting. It was 12-7 overall. It was 7-3 for the second quarter, but at one point, Boston College was up 6-1 in draw controls in that second quarter, so Virginia won 2 late, and that's what led to the 2 Virginia goals coming out of the timeout that was called by Julie Myers. So the goal by Hoeg with 59 seconds remaining in the second, and then Rachel Clark with 13 seconds remaining. But again, for the second time, the Eagles one-up it at the end of the first half, with Lizzie O'Neill scoring her second of the year. So again, we talk about what's on the line today, and what's on the line because of the #1 team in the country, Syracuse, going down to North Carolina and getting the victory and remaining undefeated. So if Boston College were to win this game, they would move to 7-1 in the ACC. And next week's game for BC at Syracuse on Thursday would be a de facto ACC regular season championship game. On the other side, if Virginia were to win, that would put 3 teams with a record of 6-2 in conference play. North Carolina, Boston College, and Virginia with 1 game to go. BC, as we said, at Syracuse on Thursday. Virginia will take on their in-state rivals, Virginia Tech. These are the up-to-date standings. Again, North Carolina falling to Syracuse, which is why you see Carolina now at 6-2 in the ACC. Virginia and Notre Dame kind of fighting right now in sort of the top half of the league. Clemson was up earlier in the game, the 16th ranked team in the country, in just their first year. What a story they have been. You know, it's something we talked about with Julie Myers, just the expansion, not just of the sport, but of the league specifically. And, you know, really in the last decade, you've seen all these different teams from Louisville to Pitt to Clemson, Virginia Tech, coming into the league, and even Boston College and Syracuse, when they joined the ACC in recent times, going way back to early in Julie Myers' tenures, and Syracuse, Notre Dame joining. So the expansion of the league really has changed things in how teams have scheduled. You're not trying to beef up your strength of schedule in the non-conference because you play so many conference games, and your strength of schedule is just going to go up by the fact you play so many good teams in the ACC. Makes for a little bit of a different look year after year in terms of scheduling. So Virginia on offense down 2 and now down 1 as Rachel Clark with her 3rd goal of the game. There's a great look from Clark, cutting right in front. Again, the setup from Kate Miller. Virginia's been pretty good facilitating today. Miller, who's 8th in the ACC in assists, and has her 2nd assist of the game. And Rachel Clark now is up to 51 goals. If Virginia can start to get that draw control advantage, you have to think that there is a way for them in this second half after, we talked about it, Boston College really dominating on the draw control in the second quarter. But Virginia, ever since the late stages of the second quarter, and now starting here, back to what we saw early in the first, which was more of the possession time and able to take advantage of it. There's a big save, though, from Dolce on the shot from Clark. So a big stop there on Rachel Clark's opportunity, as Clark's had more and more shots as this game has gone on. And a big save by Dolce looking into the sun. Eagles going quickly. Medjid got hit, so her stick was down. And because of that, the foul called, and it will stay here with Boston College. Medjid off the free position. Hits the crossbar. Got hit from behind on an excellent defensive play by Virginia. Reynolds gets rid of it. Medjid's got a lot of space. Medjid coming in, got pushed off. Clean look from Mackenzie Hoeg. And Virginia makes the defensive stand. This feels very similar to what we saw early in the first quarter. A little bit more possession from Virginia. Some good job taking away the middle against Boston College. Forcing the Eagles to slow down. That low shot. Oh, what a save, Dolce! After it snuck through initially, but then the follow-up, Dolce again! Oh my, back to back! That stop, incredible. And now BC in transition all the way down off of Sydney Scales. Two outstanding saves by Boston College's freshman keeper. And in a one-goal game early in this third quarter. Down to 37 to shoot for Boston College. Belle Smith dodging left. Smith scores! Go through that whole sequence. First starting on the defensive end for Boston College, and let's watch both saves by Shea Dolce. This is the first one off the post and then spins around to keep it out. And then just moments later, gets the second one as well. And then after certainly taking some time, Smith, as she got hit and her eye guard got knocked off, still managing to get the shot away. So Belle Smith, who scores her 34th goal of the season, after 2 saves from Dolce, credited with 3 overall in this third quarter, which gives her 6 for the game. And we talked about, you know, the resiliency point of Dolce's game with Acacia Walker-Weinstein this week. And the fact that, you know, you go to Shea and, you know, so often you hear stories about these freshmen who come in and just light the world up in their first years playing in college. And, you know, for Dolce, as well as she's played, don't forget that in that game against Denver, Boston College lost about a month ago down in Jacksonville. Dolce allowed 6 goals on 6 shots in that first quarter, got pulled. And as Coach Walker-Weinstein said, look, it hasn't been a cakewalk for her. But she has been resilient, and she's battled through it, and now in a really good spot and playing as well as anyone in the country. Cassidy Weeks got knocked off. The foul called against Virginia, so Cassidy Weeks will have an opportunity. Weeks, who's played really well against Virginia the last couple of years, now 12 points in her last 2 games against UVA, including today, and add another. Three goals and 3 assists for Weeks. And it is 13-10 Boston College with 9:44 to go here in the third. Cassidy Weeks, who's really stepped up her game of late. And does that look North-esque? We've talked about it. I mean, just the revolutionizing of the position and that shot on the free positions that Charlotte North was known for over the last few years at Boston College. It's a great look at it. The extension, bringing the stick out away from your body and being able to shoot rather than over the top, but from the side with full velocity on it. So it's been a big day for Cassidy Weeks and this Eagles offense, up 13-10 on Virginia. Initial swipe missed, and then a bump called against Williams. And a nice sneak pass there from Ryan Smith on a bounce to get it to Weeks, weaving it through where the Virginia players had set up. And Boston College back to work on the offensive end. It's a 13-10 lead for BC in a game that has been played between a 6-goal differential. Virginia led as much as 5-2, the Eagles as much as 10-7 and 13-10 until now. Medjid second of the game, and the largest lead for Boston College at 4. Medjid with her 58th goal of the season, and now 301 points in her storied Boston College career. 10 lead for Boston College over Virginia in this final home game on the senior day of the regular season. For BC as part of this extended senior and grad class. Remember, of course, still get the extra COVID year of eligibility for some of these players, so that's why you have a couple of grad students on there that have been very significant in this run of 5 consecutive finals made and the 2021 national championship team. Trying to pull off another season here for the Eagles where they haven't been ranked quite as high over the course of the whole year. Maybe even a little under the radar, as crazy as that is to say right now, but they've played better of late. The time of the year that Acacia Walker-Weinstein has talked about that her team seems to get better every year. Virginia coming back in, and they score. Second goal of the game for Kiki Shaw. And this Cavaliers team, one of the better Virginia teams in recent years as well, in a big way, And what's been a great game so far in Chestnut Hill. Great finishing rep there. So Kiki Shaw now with her 16th goal of the year. And it's back to a 3-goal game here at 14-11. Eagles will have their senior day ceremony, by the way, after the game. Coach Walker-Weinstein said she's done that over the last few years. Get the game out of the way and then let the emotions flow after the fact. Again, another whistle off the face-off. And this one goes against Virginia as Ryan Smith got knocked down. Gives it off to Holly Schleicher, gets it ahead for Medjid. And BC will go to work on the offensive end. That Virginia goal ending the third 3-goal flurry for Boston College over the course of the game. Hasselbeck off for Courtney Weeks. A whistle with McKenna Davis coming around. There was a foul away from possession, like it was called against Nicole Cruthards, the first-year defender, which will give Boston College a free position. Number 32, Cruthards will move behind Davis. The free position look. Davis reps it and scores! What a shot by McKenna Davis with her second goal of the day. And 3 points today for Davis. It's now 17 goals on the year. Cannot place it any better than that. And with the defense closing in for Virginia, it was Maggie Bostaine who had her stick closest to it. We've said it's been whether by design or because of what Virginia is doing defensively, it's been a day where Davis has shot a little bit more than we're used to. 5 shots today is tied with Cassidy Weeks for the team lead. But she's still made an impact. It's always been the theme under Acacia Walker-Weinstein, especially during this stretch for Boston College offensively. Even if you have a game like this where, you know, we say Davis only, quote unquote, has 1 assist, Jenn Medjid only has 2 goals, and Belle Smith only has 1 goal. So you can take away some pieces for a while, but there's still enough around it that this offense continues to work. So that's 15 goals with just 3 from your quote-unquote All-Americans coming into the year. Whistle before the goal, but it counts. And Virginia, who's gotten big games from their big stars, and add another one for the Cavaliers, who are now within 15-12 as Rachel Clark adds her 4th goal of the game. Two defenders with her, but Clark just using that shot at 5'9". And she takes advantage. So up to 52 goals this year for Rachel Clark, 2 shy of McGovern at 54 for the team lead. Clean win to Mackenzie Hoeg. Cavaliers trying to come back. Virginia got to as close as a one-goal game early in the third. But BC has scored 4 of 6 since. Shaw has to back away. 34 to shoot here, still plenty of time for Virginia. With 5:44 to go in this third quarter. Schwab right in front, Dolce steps out. And Sophia Taglick picks up the ground ball. And Boston College will use the timeout to keep possession here with 5:33 to go in this third. So Acacia Walker-Weinstein elects to use the first of her timeouts on this senior day, as we've talked about here at Boston College, and some of the names and faces of this both grad class and senior class, as we've talked about, which has had such an impact here. A lot of these fifth years who are part of some of the early years of the Final Four runs. Ryan Smith, who has really taken a step this year at the draw control circle. There's Taglick wearing number 19. Holly Schleicher, of course, cousins with Belle Smith. Stevie Day was granted the number 19 jersey last year for Boston College. The 19 jersey handed out, of course, at the end of the red bandana game. Here in this third quarter, with 5:33 remaining. So out of the timeout, remember, so the Eagles on possession. And Belle Smith will start with it. That's it ahead to Schleicher, who will immediately come off as the Eagles cross over midfield. Kenna Davis scored a free position goal just a few moments ago. Weeks saw lane, decides to take it. Good read by Courtney Weeks for her second goal of the game. And it's 16-12. This is not how the play's designed, but you'll see Courtney Weeks get in position here, and it's just an open lane. Virginia was late closing defensively, so Weeks decides to take it. And Boston College reestablishes a 4-goal lead for the third time here in this third quarter. By the way, Virginia has made a goalkeeper change here. Ashley Vernon, the senior, who's played 12 games this year, has come into the game for Virginia. See the numbers on Vernon this year for UVA. So it's 16-12. Boston College lead here with 4:54 to go. And BC on possession out of the draw control. So it's been a better draw control third quarter here for Virginia than the second, but not enough to really be able to spread out in terms of that stat category. The Eagles are up by the same score they are in the game, 16-12, in terms of the draw controls. Centering, try looking for Belle Smith. Skipped all the way through. Ryan Smith was there on the backup. Smith getting more times as part of the offensive rotation here for BC. And here is Ryan Smith. Or McKenna Davis slips it to the middle. Martello makes a leaping catch, got knocked away, but was fouled. After making that leaping catch, and you'll see right there when that stick gets parallel, you're gonna call that cross-check every time. So Martello off a free position and missed wide. Jenn Medjid closest to it, so the Eagles retain possession. Just 12 to shoot here for BC. Davis. Eagles got to get it off. Medjid off the post and in. With just 4 on the timer. And Boston College takes its largest lead of the game at 17-12, and another hat trick for Medjid. Again, time winding down on the possession. And again, it's McKenna Davis who sets up Medjid. ACC leading 59th goal of the season for Jenn Medjid. And it's 17-12. You see the ACC leading scorers, the top 3 in this game this afternoon with Medjid, McGovern, and Clark. That one will go out of bounds. And it's off Virginia. So BC once again on a little bit of a scoring run. And it's been a theme ever since the first quarter. Billy Myers said it to us. Virginia head coach said we cannot let Boston College score more than 2 and get on a run. They've done it a few times and have a chance to do it again, working here on the offensive end. Weeks coming around, and she scores! Hat trick for Courtney Weeks. And it's 18-12. We've talked about it. It hasn't necessarily been any one crazy run for Boston College. We've said it. They haven't scored more than 3 in a row, but they've pretty consistently here scored 3 in a row. This is the 4th time in the game that BC has had a 3-goal scoring run. And Virginia has, for the most part, only answered those runs with 1 or at the most 2. So from a game that was 5-2, remember, back near the end of the first quarter, it's turned into 18-12. That's a 16-7 Boston College run. And now Virginia's made another goalkeeping change. They've gone back to Abby Jansen here. Trying to find some sort of answer for this Eagles offense. Remember, Virginia scored the first goal of this 3rd quarter to make it an 11-10 game with the Eagles up. And since that point, it's been 7-2 in favor of Boston College to build the lead to a game-high 6. Biscup being forced away with 34 to shoot. Amy Biscup, who had an assist earlier, trying to get positioning, works it back here to Hoeg, and a whistle called against BC. Boy, it feels like this is the first time in a while that Virginia has had a sustained possession down this end. And it really feels like it goes back to that 2-save sequence that Shea Dolce made early in the 3rd. Kind of maybe a turning point. Reposition chance! And Dolce read that really well. Might have been going wide anyway, but there was no chance as Dolce just jumps out. Watch how quickly she reacts, and you can see, I mean, almost takes a full step before that shot got away. And now into the final minute of this 3rd quarter, with the Eagles up by 6. Final 30 seconds. And no possession timer here at the end of the 3rd quarter. Medjid got rid of it. Belle Smith. And the whistle called with 13.2 to go in the 3rd. Smith off the free position, scores! Belle Smith and the Eagles starting to pull away here late in the 3rd. What a shot by Belle Smith. So 2 goals today. And 35 now for the season for the Eagles junior midfielder. Clean win here. 6 seconds to go. We have seen some late scoring at the end of the 1st and 2nd. Can Virginia find it here? It's off the post. Oh my, it would have counted. My goodness, how close was that to what could have been a momentum builder? What a third quarter it was, though, for Shea Dolce. A couple of huge stops to keep the Eagles in the lead. And then the BC offense went to work. 19 sorted out. Virginia still trying to find a comeback here and would create a three-way tie for second in the ACC if the Cavaliers could find their way back. Hunter Roman comes away with the ground ball for Boston College. And the Eagles will go to work on the offensive end. And what has been a torrid offensive day for BC. Eagles with 19 goals have already tied their season high, which they've scored 2 other times against Louisville on March 11th and against BU on Tuesday. Both of those were 19-8 wins. Done it on a day here as Cassidy Weeks draws a free position where, again, not to say that anyone has not performed, because you've still gotten the 3 goals from Medjid, the 2 from Smith, the 2 goals and an assist from McKenna Davis, but it hasn't been kind of your 1 or 2 stars really taken over. It's really been spread out, the scoring. That bounce shot missed the net on the near side. McKenna Davis was there on the backup for Boston College. Quick pass in front, Medjid. It hit the post and kind of sat free for a few moments before Abby Jansen picked it up for Virginia. Look how close this came off the feed. And then a bounce shot right there, and it looks like a timeout taken on the field here early. 13:37 to go. And we will step aside. 19-12, Boston College, the lead over Virginia here early in the 4th. It's going to be really hard to see, did that ball fully cross from this angle? And because you don't have the direct overhead angle, obviously, at the football stadium. So it looks like they will stick with the call of no goal. Smile from head coach Akeisha Walker-Weinstein. Gave it a try. So 13:37 to go here in the 4th. Obviously still very early on as Boston College asked for that review. And on we go. Again, as we talked about, since the moment that Virginia brought this to a 1-goal game at 11-10 to start the 3rd, the Eagles have outscored the Cavaliers 7-2 since that point. And it's 19-12 right now as Boston College looking for a 12th win of the regular season and 7th in the ACC. Coming around, Dolce on the shot from Kate Miller. Give the assist to the defense, though. Made enough contact with Miller that she could not get a full look at it. And then Holly Schleicher colliding with Maggie Bostain. And a card is going to come out here against Virginia. Good to see Schleicher right back up after missing a bunch of time this year. See, anytime that stick gets up in the head area, it's likely to be called. So Schleicher will get the restart here with BC on the player up advantage. Hasselbeck gives it off for Davis. Courtney Weeks, who's been really good working from X today. And on it once again. Quick pass. Martello waits and scores. Martello ties her career high with 5 goals in a game. So Kayla Martello, who scored some goals in key moments in that second quarter, tied the game at 6 and gave the Eagles a 7-6 lead, and then a 9-7 lead earlier, and now has her 5th of the game. As you see, over 40 for the year. And Boston College now with 20 goals today, which is a new season high. So, going back to what Acacia Walker-Weinstein said with her team trying to get rolling at the right time, the Eagles now tied their season high in goals on Tuesday at BU, and they've exceeded it today against Virginia. 12:04 to go, and it is 20-12. Oh, a clean turnover by Kayla Martello, who just jumped the passing lane of Aubrey Williams. Wide open in front, Weeks hit the post. Virginia was kind of all out of sequence there, and the Eagles nearly took advantage. Shea Baker is in the game for the first time now for Boston College. Centering try Martello. Got knocked out of her stick, but is able to get to it before it went over the end line. Still plenty of time here for BC. Medjid off a quick stick. Set up by McKenna Davis. It's 21-12 BC. Great setup by McKenna Davis. Her third assist of the game. And Jenn Medjid with her 4th goal. And it is 21-12. It was a high-scoring game all the way through, but the Eagles have just chipped away. And again, we told you Boston College had 3 3-goal runs early, but never more than that now. This is that 6-goal run that you fear when you play Boston College. Virginia has been held off the board since the 6:48 mark of the 3rd quarter. Been a full spread out scoring attack for Boston College today. With 7 different goal scorers and 8 players have picked up at least a point. Ten minutes to go here in the 4th. Medjid with a stutter step. Horse back. Picks it for Smith, who draws shooting space. free position for Belle Smith. After the whistle goes against Virginia. Big save there by Jansen. Rebound was loose off a ground ball, picked up by McKenna Davis. And a reset of the possession time to 60. Medjid going for the ground ball with Hoeg and Shea Baker. Got caught together going for it. Jenn Medjid coming around. Medjid whistle came out before the shot as Jenn Medjid was hit from behind. And Medjid will have a free position look with 8:59 to go in the fourth. Medjid, quick run in and scores! Goal number 5 today for Jenn Medjid. And the Eagles build the lead to 10. It is 22-12. Got a few steps in, it looked like it. Maggie Bostain actually might have gotten there and made some contact with the back of the stick. It affected the shot, but Medjid still enough power on it to get it through. And there is Jenn Medjid, who's up over 60 goals now on the season with 5 more today. Told you earlier, needed just 1 point to get to 300 in her Boston College career. She's exceeded that. And Baldwin out with the fans here who have seemed to be migrated away from the shade on the near side of the football stadium into the corner behind the end zone to get back into the sun. On a big day for the hometown Eagles here on Senior Day. Of course, now in a 10-goal situation in women's lacrosse, it becomes a running clock outside of penalties or timeouts. And the Eagles once again are on possession. Again, go back to the draw control now. The second quarter and the fourth quarter. Boston College really a significant advantage on the draw control today. 7-3 in the second, and it's now 4-1 here in the fourth. And it's a big reason why the Eagles have been able to pull away here in a big way. 7 consecutive goals for Boston College. Davis turning around. Jansen got a piece of it. Courtney Weeks there on the backup with 6:39 to go here in the fourth. Right in front. Oh, what a play. Belle Smith, while getting hit. A hat trick for Smith. And the Eagles' lead is 23-12. McKenna Davis sets it up, and Smith off of a quick stick. What a feat of athleticism there for Belle Smith. Davis now has 4 assists and You see Rachel Hall is coming to the game for Boston College, a grad student who was the goalkeeper for Boston College as part of their national championship team in 2021 in the last few years, and will come in on this senior day to finish it out. Timeout taken here with 5:19 to go in the fourth. I mean, you talk about, again, with the score 23-12 right now, it doesn't feel it, but the turning point in this game, Virginia cuts it to 11-10 in the third. And then back-to-back saves from Shea Dolce, both of which would have tied the game for Virginia. And Dolce continues to have a big second half for the Eagles. And Belle Smith now with 3 goals, all 3 in the second half. But you look at those 2 saves, where they were in the game, with Virginia within 1, having scored 3 of the last 4 goals going back to the end of the second quarter. And that's where, you know, when you play goalkeeper for a really good team, and, you know, we've seen it through the years here, obviously with Boston College and all the success we've had. They've had the success that we've seen Syracuse have, the success that we've seen North Carolina have. And sometimes the goalkeeper, it's not that you're making the big save or just putting up these ridiculous numbers, because there are a lot of games that end up getting stretched out like this. But it's the save in the key moment, and the save when the game is still in doubt, that really pays dividends. And that was the case there for Dolce. She's been really good, and she's got to have a lot of confidence going into a game at Syracuse coming up on Thursday in what looks like it will be the #1 seed in the ACC tournament on the line between the undefeated Orange, and if BC can finish this off, the 7-1 in the ACC, BC Eagles. Down to 4:44 to go. And the Eagles will bring some new players out there here. Kit Arix is into the game for the first time for BC. Arix on it now, as the Eagles have just pulled away in this fourth quarter. We told you Virginia was as close as 11-10 early in the third. Was as close as 15-12. The Eagles have scored 8 in a row since that point. Virginia's last goal at 6:48 of the third. Belle Smith, pass to the middle, and Mallory Hasselbeck trying a behind-the-back shot after her face guard got knocked off. Medjid trying one, and that just missed. Eagles going quickly here, and then the pass was caught. Would have been at the end of the timer anyway by Abby Jansen, so it did not end up mattering. Now with 3:32 to go, Virginia is back on possession in a 23-12 game. And Cavaliers will host Virginia Tech on Thursday. And we'll still have an opportunity with a win to get to the #4 seed in the ACC tournament. And add another there for Ashlyn McGovern. Her 3rd goal of the game. And Virginia is back within 10 at 23-13. That snaps the scoring run for Boston College at 8 in a row. And McGovern, who came in 2nd in the ACC and 4th nationally in goals, her 3rd of the game gives her 55 now for the season. A season high in goals today for Boston College by 4. And Virginia is back on possession here. After the draw control. Schwab backing away, got it ahead to Hoeg, right in front, big save, Rachel Hall. On senior day, after just coming into the game, gets to make a big stop late, right on the doorstep on Kate Miller. And the Eagles going back quickly as Holly Schleicher brings it all the way in. One final possession here, Eagles add another, and that should just about do it. Andrea Reynolds with her second goal of the game, and it's 24-13. Boston College leads over Virginia. And with that, that will turn the possession timer off. What a game it is going to be on Thursday. Boston College, who is about to move to 7-1 in the ACC against the undefeated #1 team in the country, Syracuse. You can catch that game on ACC Network, as well as the whole ACC tournament coming up next week from Charlotte, North Carolina, where the Eagles and the Orange will compete for the #1 seed. One late yellow card comes out there. And then Boston College will run out the final 12 seconds of win number 12. A season high in goals today for Boston College. And apparently one more. 25-13 is the final. And Boston College will go to Syracuse with the #1 seed on the line on Thursday night. Final score today, Boston College 25 and Virginia 13.